All right, hello once again, Jeff Scott from Jeff Teaches Programming. This is going to be a fairly short video. In the last video, I had a problem when I came in and tried to do an update. So I'll show you what I had to put in there to fix it, but let's just prove that it now works. So I'll go, doesn't matter, I'll just go to my hourly here. Let's go to here and let's do an update. Let's just update everything. So I've got, let's have this be some employee, and they work 20 hours and they make $25 an hour. And you'll see now it works. Okay? And I can go in, I can delete that employee. In fact, let's just double check and make sure it was changed in the database. There it is, 20 and 25. And if I look in, I think it was number 9 was the ID. If I go to employees here, maybe it was 2, I don't know. Let's look. 9. Some employee. Huh. Well, let's do this. Let's return. That's the other thing. I can now go back. Let's refresh the database. I don't remember if I did or not. Thought I did. All right, go to employee, view the data. Well, I don't see number 9 here. That isn't a good thing. Not sure what's going on. I am going on though. And let's take a look at what's here. What I did first, just to show you this real quickly, is I added a return button and just did a this.close, which closes the form and gets back to the original form. Okay, so let's get rid of that. And let's go to the employee service. You can look at the comment here. If EFCore has already been tracking a different instance of this key. See, the problem is if we're tracking or not tracking, we may be or may not be allowing changes to be made. All right. If we want to start tracking a different instance, we have to detach the old one first. Without this, we get that invalid exception. Because as it says, EFCore refuses to track 2 separate objects that share the same primary key. So we checked it here. And if it's not equal to null, meaning basically there's already an instance of it open, we detach that one. So we're able to go and add our new stuff. All right. That's about all I wanted to do with this one. Now, one thing I'm going to have to do is put this out on the system, so if anybody wants to look at it, they're able to, and I will do that. But I want to mention this first. The next thing that we're going to do in here is we're going to start going over what ASP.NET is. Now, I'm going to quickly run through these, but I've also got this here that has what I'm going to be using. Now, I'm not going to go over all these. That would be ridiculous. This is ASP.NET overview. We'll talk a little bit about some of the stuff that's in there. This I found online. It's a little bit older. All right, about 5 or 6 years old. But it's a good introduction of what ASP.NET is. And it's several videos. I don't remember how many in here. I know there were over 20. I'd say there's over 20. There's more like 100. Yep, 100 video. No, more. 172. Okay. And the gentleman who gives it has a little bit of an accent, but I mean, I watched a few of them and it looked pretty good. This was under Microsoft Net, ASP.NET Core, which is what we're going to be working with. And this is a whole tutorial where you build this. It's a simple movie database. All right, where you're able to go in and edit existing movies, find out the details, delete, etc., and create new movies. All right, I'm not going to go through that one really either. I'm going to talk about this one and this one because this is ASP.NET Core, and like I said, there's a getting started there. All right, but what I'm going to spend most of the time on are these last three, and that is, I had originally shown this ASP.NET tutorial, but there's one just for Core MVC, and that's Model View Controller, which we'll talk about. Now, again, it's 73 articles. We're not going to go over all those. That would be ridiculous. And I think to start with, we'll go over these in a little bit, but we're going to talk about these too. This is from the Muroc book. This is Chapter 1. An introduction to web apps, an introduction to ASP.NET Core MVC, tools for working with ASP.NET Core MVC, and how an MVC Core MVC app works. All right, then we'll go into Chapter 2, where they're actually going to start to create one. Okay, so this is the way that we're going to be going about this, so to speak. Like I said, this was going to be a short video. The program that I have out there right now is by no means perfect. I've already suggested some of the fixes that I could have made to it, but I'm just going to leave it as it is. I'm going to attempt to convert this into an into an ASP.NET application, and then put it out on the internet. That's the plan. All right. So we'll come back and we'll start doing that in our next video. Again, sorry for this one. It's only 7 minutes long. But we'll be going to town on ASP.NET starting in the next video. I'll see you then.